What's up guys, welcome back to the lesson. And in this lesson we're going to go through how to create this kind of 3D shapes using Adobe Illustrator. So let's go to Illustrator and just press create new. And right now let's just choose mobile, for example. It doesn't really matter. Let's make width and height 1000 by 1000. Make sure it's pixels, and also go to advanced options here and make sure color mode is RGB color. And if everything is fine, let's just press create. So I'm using the newest version of Illustrator, which is basically 2018, and actually the same applies to Photoshop and After Effects, so all of them are the newest versions. So why I'm saying that, because in the 2018 version of Illustrator, things have changed a little bit, because there was a panel up here. Now it's here. This is kind of the properties panel, and it's changing whenever you choose different stuff and so on. Anyway, if you know how to use Illustrator, you will understand everything that I'm showing to. So first of all, let's press right here. You'll most likely have rectangle tool here, but we don't need it. Let's press right. We need ellipse tool. Let's choose it, and now let's hold shift and drag. So like this we create an ellipse. Now let's go here and press on fill on the color, and let's choose, for example, orange color. Now let's go to stroke, press here and choose this option here, so there is no stroke actually. So now we have to go to effect, and now we have to go to 3D, and now we need to go to revolve. So what does this actually do? Let's choose it. Let's select it, I mean. So now let's select preview. When we do that, you will see this kind of shape appear here. So it's a 3D shape already. And what can we do with it? First of all, here we have our cube. So this cube basically shows the point of view to our shape. So for example, I can press here, I can find this edge here, I can press it and drag it down, and like this, when I do it, I can see a different point of view of my shape. Just to tell you, for example, if you press preview and your computer tells you there's not enough memory and so on, make sure you close all other applications, for example Photoshop and other stuff, that maybe some browser, Google Chrome, Opera, and other stuff that you have opened. Like this, your computer will have enough RAM in order to process all these 3D effects. So we can also like just press it and drag, and like this we can change the view of our 3D shape. Okay, so let's continue. Now let's go to angle here. So now it's 360 degrees, which basically means this circle here is going 360 degrees. That's why we have here a full shape. But if I make it, let's say like 120, and let's just press tab or press any other option here, as you can see, now it's only half, so we don't see a full shape anymore. So like this we can control like what part of the shape we want to see. For example, if I make it 180, we are going to see half of it. Also, we can increase the spacing here. For example, here's offset, and let's make it like 100, and if we do that, you can see a space here, but 100 is too much, so let's make it 50, cut it in half, and it's much smaller now. And we also can make the angle now, let's say 120, and as you can see, we're already getting closer to this kind of shapes. And as I said, we can just find edges and change the angle to whatever we want. Yeah. Okay, now let's continue. So now let's go to more options, and here you should choose surface plastic shading, because what it actually does, when you have plastic shading, you can see these lights here. But if I choose, for example, diffuse shading, you don't see these lights anymore, because it's like the normal shading, and when you choose plastic shading, it has like this kind of plastic effect. Here we have this option which controls where's the light going, where's the light dropping from to our shape. For example, I can press and drag it. As you can see, the position of light is changing like this. Also, we have here light intensity. For example, I can just press and drag it, and as well ambient light, which is basically a light around our shape, so I can make it smaller. If I make it smaller, as you can see, the shape is getting darker, because now there is zero light around our shape, and now there is only one light basically going through, dropping to our shape. So if I make it higher, as you can see, the figure the shape is getting whiter, not whiter but brighter. Okay, so let's continue. Then we have here highlight intensity, which is basically this circle here, this brightness. We can increase it You can see it's brighter now, or decrease it. Also we have here highlight size. We can make it bigger or we can make it smaller, so up to you. Blend steps. So what does this actually do? This won't change anything right now, but blend steps basically helps us to make our image more quality. And let me just show you what I mean by that. For example, let me make blend steps, let's say 0. Let's press OK for now. So if I get closer to my image, you will see here this kind of circles. So this is because our blend steps is 0. But if you make it higher, then it will be perfectly smooth shape. So in order now to change this, we just have to go again to 3D revolve effect and make sure you don't click effect 3D and revolve, because if you do that, he's going to create another 3D effect. We need to change existing 3D effect. So how do we do that? So if you have a newer version of Illustrator, you can just click here and it's going to open. Or if you have an older version, you can go to window and then you can go to appearance. And here we have our appearance panel, which basically shows the style of our shape. And here you will have 3D revolve. Just press on it like this. And actually, when you press on it, you will see the same effect appear again. We just need to make sure preview is on. And now if we increase blending steps, for example, make it like 25 like it was before, you can see that it's perfectly smooth. So now what I want you to do, I want you to change the shading color basically. Like this, we will be able to create gradient that is going from orange color to some other color that we choose right now. So let's go to shading color and choose here custom. As you can see, now it's a gradient from orange to red. And let's press on red. And let's make it, for example, let's say like purple. Press OK, violet I mean. And now if you want to make this color stronger, you can just make ambient light a little bit less. And if you make it less, like you can see this color is getting stronger. If you make it higher, the color is getting more smooth. So basically, let's make it something like this. Yeah, this should be nice. And if you look here, you can see that we are getting already there. Here, all of them have 2 colors basically. And let's just, before we press OK, I want to make sure this is, if you look here, you can see like all of them are under some degree. For example, this one is like straight. We need to curve it a little bit like this. Okay, that was too much. Like this. And also if we look here, you can see that this is more like this one because we see it from this view. But if we want to view it from behind, like this one here, what we can actually do, we can just press and drag, yeah, like this. And this should be fine, you see. So this is similar, but we want to make the angle a little bit bigger, so let's make it 160. Let's drag again, and also like this, so we can see this part as well. Yeah, you can also just copy these parameters here if you want to make sure you have exactly the same thing. And let's just press OK for now and make it like further away, and we got this shape here. So I want to show you, oops, not this image, okay, not this window. I want to show a few more stuff, what else we can do with this 3D revolve. For example, if I let's say I take here an ellipse tool. No, let's say I take here star tool, and again hold shift and draw a star. And now we go to, and always make sure your stroke, there is no stroke, otherwise you will see everything black. If your stroke is black, I mean, because like all of the circles will have black strokes, that's why it's going to be like really black. So if you go to effect and go to 3D and then we go to revolve. So if we turn on preview right now, what you will see is actually this kind of interesting shape. For example, we can look at what's inside. We can of course make offset bigger, so there's actually space here, and of course we can decrease like the degree, so we can, as you can see, we can do few other stuff. And here we see some shapes. You can see here these rectangles. In order not to see them, you can just increase the blending steps, and as you can see, it's much smoother right now. So let's press cancel. There's actually lots of interesting stuff that we can do with this 3D revolve, and in order to show you what exactly, for example, if I just write here 3D revolve Illustrator, you will see different people creating amazing stuff with 3D revolve. For example, here is a, I don't know how you call it in English, but this is a figure from chess, for example. And I can show you how to do this right now. It's actually pretty easy. Or let's say like stuff like that. Let's go around like this logos. I can't find anything that interesting actually. That's very weird. Usually you find here like really cool stuff. Oh, okay, yeah. This is what I was showing you. So you can see this kind of posters, and they're using these shapes, which is actually really nice. And you also have to pay attention that they got the lighting really right. That's why it looks also cool. Okay, let's go back, and I want to show you how to create this figure from chess. So in order to do it, basically, as you can see here, let me go up. As you can see here, we have to draw first of all the half of the shape, and then it will go around. So just to show you how to do it, so you can practice this effect more, because we are going to need it. I mean, you are going to need it in future to create your own projects. So for example, let's just quickly go through it. Let's just create an ellipse like this. Then let's go to rectangle tool, create a rectangle like this, and also a few more rectangles. One is like this, and also another one like this. Also, let's choose our first tool, select both of them. So basically we choose our move tool, selection tool, select all of them, and now we have to align them. For example, I press here, and now all of them are aligned. And if you don't see align panel here, you can just go to window and find here an align panel. Basically anything you don't find here, you can just go to window and find it here. And now we need to make sure they're all together, so we go to Pathfinder, and again you can find it in Windows panel, and you can press it here like this, so it's all together. Now we need to cut it in half. So how do we do that? We just take another rectangle, we get closer, and we find the perfectly center, like we find center. And as you can see, if I make like this, yeah, okay, this is center. So what I actually have to do, I have to make sure this is on this shape. So if I change the color, you can see that this is located on this shape. If it's not for you, what you can do, press it, just press right here, go to arrange and make it bring to front, so it's in the front. And now we select both of them, and again we go to Pathfinder, and here we can choose this option, which basically deletes this part of shape basically from this shape, deletes this shape. So this is going to be a way to be deleted. If I press like this, you can see it's getting deleted. And now let's go to window, to effect, 3D, revolve, and if I press preview, yeah, here we have our shape from chess. Isn't that cool? And of course you can change the colors and stuff like that. Let's just, of course we can also like make it go around and do interesting stuff with it. And let's just press OK for now, and we don't actually need it, so let's just delete it. This was just for you. So let me continue. And so what I want to show you next is how we can actually change the shape of this in order to make sure we got these lines here. And this is actually pretty easy. So how do we do that? We need to go here, so press right on the width tool, and here we have wrinkle tool. This basically helps us to make these lines like wrinkled. You will see what I mean. So make sure your brush is bigger. If you want to make it bigger or smaller, what you can actually do, just press twice on it, and here you will have width and height. You can increase it in order to make your brush size bigger. Mine is like 100 by 100 pixels, for example, but yours may be different. And if I start just pressing and dragging, you can see we have already here this kind of amazing shapes. So cool, right? Okay guys, that's it for this lesson. During the next lesson, we're actually going to create these shapes for our project and then move them into Photoshop. See you guys in the next lesson. Bye.